welcome to Bone Tissue Chapter 6. Let's take a look at what we have. So we're going to look at a couple of things. What is the function of the skeletal system? Basically, it's for support, to store minerals, fat, as well as blood cell production, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets, protection, leverage, and force production. So what do we do with bones? Let's classify them. So we have a couple of bones. I'm not going to test too heavily on this, but you should know them. Basically flat ones. There's long ones, right? There's short ones. So a couple that they talk about. Sutural bones are found in the skull, right? In the sutures. They're also known as wormian bones. So if you ever see a bone that's called a sutural bone, it just means that it's a bone that's growing inside of the sutures that are found between the skulls. And if you see sutural, sometimes the person that named it likes to name it after themselves. So they call it wormian bones. And then we have irregular shaped bones like the vertebrae, short bones like the wrist, flat bones like in the skull. Then we have long bones like the humerus or even the femur. And then sesamoid bones are, you primarily see it in the kneecap and at the base of the toe. So what they do is they help to leverage. So who's injured their big toe before? I know I have. So I had a really hard time walking after I injured it. I was limping pretty much and I couldn't push myself forward. So what the sesamoid bones do is they act as almost like a fulcrum, a leverage point to help increase the force that's produced by, in the case of the knee, the force is produced by the quadriceps. In the case of the big toe, the force is produced by all the muscles in the back of the calf. So moving on. Sutural bones, you guys can kind of go through this. It's not that important that we're going to test on too heavily. So irregular, like I said, the vertebrae, no real shape to it. Various projections out at different sides or to the back. This is like the transverse, means across, and this is the spinous, it's pointing backward. Carpal bones are short, so there's 8 of them. We'll cover that when we get to bones. Short bones, flat bones, you guys can go through this.